Hi, I'm James with British Customs. Today I'm going to show you how to install our Retro Headlight Ears, and we're going to show you how to relocate the retro turn signals down to the Rectifier relocation bracket. So first thing I'm going to do is do the bracket here so we can show you that you can actually relocate your turn signals down here and keep your stock bracket headlight ears. You don't have to change those out. And then we'll show you why you would want to. So start with that. We're going to pull these two plugs out of here. So we're going to pull these plugs out here. You can do this with a pair of snips, but you just got to be careful that you don't squeeze too hard because these are only plastic and they'll cut right through them and then it'll be stuck in there. So first you want to grab one of the screws from the kit and we're going to put on lock washer and a flat washer. Take the bracket, just turn that screw in by hand. Then you can do the same with the other screw. Lock washer, flat washer. Get that turned in. Using our 4mm Allen. It'd be easier to just get right in there. Tighten that up. So now you want to take retro turn signal. Make sure you have the one with the screw. When it's facing forward, the screw should be going up from the bottom. We're going to slide our wires through the bigger hole and then put the screw through the small hole. Put the lock washer and the nut. Using our 4mm Allen and a 10mm wrench and tighten that up. And if you use the wrench to actually tighten the nut, then this won't move around, so you can get that nice and square with the bracket and then just tighten the nut. Now again with our 4mm Allen, we can tighten the turn signal on. Tight enough that it's not going to fall off. You still want to be able to move it a little bit so you can adjust it to where you want it. You can tighten it just a little bit more. Keep it from moving. Now we can attach to our turn signal lights out of the headlight. I'm going to put the black one on the black wire and the other one on the green wire. And we just tuck them wires back into the headlight. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So at this point, we want to test this out, make sure it's working. We got right turn signal, we got left turn signal, We're good. If you notice, this is flashing pretty fast, a little faster than stock. If that bothers you, you want to fix that, just go look at our other video on how to fix hyperflash. So the last thing we need to do is we're just going to fasten down these wires right here. Get a cable tie. I'm going to put one over here. Get another one, put it over here. And this is serving two purposes. One, it's neatening everything up so it just looks better. And then it's also going to keep it out of the way so nothing gets pinched between your triple clamp and the frame or anything like that. That one there. And if we just put another little one right over here, hold these two wires together. I don't have to make that too tight. Just loose there. So now that you neatened up the lights, moving them down here, you can see that you got this big hole left here where the lights used to be. If that doesn't bother you and you want to run it like that, that's cool. You can do that. Otherwise, you can install our Retro Headlight Ears, which we're going to do right now. So if you want to do that, stay tuned. The first thing you want to do, you want to get some tank protection, either a towel, blanket, if you got a tank cover, and also on the fender, covering the triple clamp, because we're going to drop the headlight down. You want to be able to just rest it down over here. We're going to be pulling the handlebars back, and we got to take the top triple clamp off. So you just want to have that all protected. So for this job, you want to support the bike with a flat jack underneath it. Look under, make sure you're not hitting anything that's going to break. You don't have to jack it all the way up, but you do want to keep it supported a little bit. For the most part, it should be fine, but you may need this to manipulate it a little bit to get the top triple clamp back on when you're done. So we're going to start with a 12mm socket. Lay the headlight down there. So we need to take the handlebars out of the way just so we can get to that nut. That's the only way we're going to get the triple clamp off. So this is a 6mm Allen. Loosen these up. So I got lucky and the bars stayed there. I could feel that they were doing that, but you always want to try and keep a hand on them just in case they come off. And we could just roll them down there. The key out of the way. And now we can get to that nut. So this here is a 38mm socket. Okay, using our 6mm Allen. Gonna undo these pinch bolts. So now we want to put the bars back on. For one, it gets them out of the way, less moving parts here, but it's also going to help us lift the triple clamp up. So again, with our 6mm. Now we can slide these off. I'm just going to pop this back on for a minute here. So when you're putting these clamps on, you want to make sure you're putting them on in the right order, top and bottom. You can see the way that they go will show you which one's the bottom, which one's the top. If you try to put that up there, it's not going to work. So this has to go on first, this way. Also, we need to loosen up these screws to get it to slide over the clamp. So you want to loosen all your screws first so that you're ready to go. And then make sure you have them in the right order. You don't want to get it all back together and go to put that on, then you got to take the clamp back off and do it again. So we're going to start with our 4mm Allen. Loosen that up. Loosen up the top one. So now I can lift this back up. There. Slide that one over. Slide the top one over. And go do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now again, put the bottom first. Make sure the screws are loose. Do the top. Get the clamp back on. So now we can get this back on. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of wiggling to get it down. This is where the flat jack may help you to raise it or lower it a little bit. Might change the angles of things a little bit. So you might be tempted to whack this down with a rubber mallet. You could do that and it will work, but what you got to be careful is that it's the teeth, the threads of the steering stem are rubbing right into the triple clamp up here. So that's what's going on there. You don't want to end up messing those threads up, and you don't want to be chewing up your triple clamp. So if it's going down with maybe little light taps, you're okay, but if you got to beat it really hard, then that's not good. So sometimes you just gotta raise this up a little bit or lower it down. So I just raised it about 1/4 inch and it went right down. So from there, where the threads are sticking out, I can just tap it down a little bit. So now we're gonna remove the handlebars again so we can put the nut back on. Now we're going to tighten the nut to 90 Newton meters using a 38mm socket. So when you tighten down these handlebar clamps, you want to snug down the front ones first, then we tighten the rear, and then we're going to go back and tighten the rear, tighten the front, tighten the rear. 24 Newton meters, front first. So now we can tighten these pinch bolts here. Use your 6mm Allen bit. And they're going to be tightened down to 24 Newton meters. So to put these ears on, we need to remove all these screws. So I'm going to do that now. You could have done that earlier. I just don't like to take a chance of losing all the screws, so I just loosen them. So now start one screw in the top. Get another one in the bottom. You can see how quick it tightens up. I mean, I hardly even tightened that, and I can't move it. So I'm going to keep it moving until we get the headlight on, and then we'll position it. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're using the same 4mm Allen that we used previously. Take these screws out. Get the top one in. So now you want to get rid of the big flat washer that was on the stock bolt. And we're going to take that off. And you got the nylon washer we're going to put underneath that. And that helps protect the anodizing on that hole. Plus the other washer's too big and we'll be covering that hole. So now we can lift up our headlight. Put that in, just hand tight. Get the other side on. Okay, ready? So again, get rid of the flat washer, put the nylon washer on. We'll screw that up. So now at this point, you want to adjust your headlight ears to where you like the headlight to be, whether you want it higher, lower. You can only go so high before you're going to be hitting the ignition switch here. So we're going to raise this up. Well, I'm going to try. Sometimes these things really seem to get tightened up on you, even though they're loose. And right about there, if I go any more, I'm going to be hitting the ignition switch. So that's pretty much where I'm going to start. And what I want to do here is I'm going to just snug this bottom one down so it doesn't move. Take a quick measurement. Right about 3/4 of an inch. All right, so this one's right now at 7/8, so I'm going to come down. Right there, I'm at 3/4. I'm still just about to hit there. So now you just want to back up and eyeball it and make sure it looks straight. Even though your measurements might be straight, sometimes it looks a little off. And if that all looks good, we can start tightening it down. So now, using our 4mm Allen hex bit, we're going to tighten these down to 10 Newton meters. Want to start out in the center. Top or bottom doesn't matter, just pick one. Then we'll go to the center top. And we're going to do the bottom, then the top. So now you can keep going. You can go back to this one. It's going to tighten back up to 10 Newton meters. Every time you tighten these, it's going to go. I wouldn't recommend doing it more than twice. Okay, we'll do the other side. So again, we'll tighten the bottom center first. 4mm, 10 Newton meters. Go to the top center. Bottom. Top. We'll do it one more time. So once all that's tight, your height is set and everything, now you just want to aim your headlight. I would say check your service manual. It'll tell you exactly how to do that. If you don't have a service manual, I highly recommend that you get one. These are going to be tightened down to 10 Newton meters. So, a little information here on the headlight ears. If you're wanting to install these on your bike, you need to check before you buy them, because if you have a regulator mounted here and you have a liquid cooled bike, so your regulator is going to be a little black box with fins on it mounted here, regulator rectifier, and you have your cooler here, you cannot relocate your rectifier over here because this is in the way. Later models, they move the rectifier to a different position, and now you can install this kit here and allows you to put on the headlight ears. Otherwise, the headlight will be hitting the rectifier and it doesn't work. So just keep that in mind before you buy. Make sure that it's going to fit your bike. So that's how you install the headlight ears on a 2024 T120 Bonneville. And thanks for watching.